When Steve Harvey and I decided to travel to Mecca, it wasn't a publicized journey. We didn't go for cameras, headlines, or attention. We went because something deep within us was searching for answers. Over the years, I have met people from all walks of life. The rich, the poor, the powerful, the voiceless. But I always felt that beyond politics, beyond economics, there lies a truth.
A truth that connects every human heart. And Mecca, I was told, is the heart of that truth. Steve and I didn't know what to expect. We had heard stories of millions gathering, dressed in white, walking side by side, speaking different languages, yet somehow moving with the same rhythm, but seeing it with our own eyes was something else entirely. When we entered Mecca, we felt an energy unlike anything we'd ever experienced, a calm that silences your ego and awakens your soul. Standing before the Kaaba, surrounded by thousands of people, I felt something I've never felt before in my political life: complete humility. There were no titles, no wealth, no social classes, no leaders or followers. Everyone was equal. Presidents and peasants, billionaires and laborers, all stood shoulder to shoulder, united in prayer, facing the Creator of all things. And that sight alone changed something inside me. I spent decades fighting for justice and equality. But what I saw in Mecca was living justice, not written on paper or debated in parliaments, but lived by millions in harmony. The atmosphere was filled with a sense of belonging that transcended race, nationality, and politics. Steve was deeply moved too. I remember him saying, "Tony, I've fought villains on screen, but this feels like fighting the villain inside me." And he was right. Mecca strips away your ego, your fame, your masks. It confronts you with your true self, fragile, dependent, and seeking mercy. As we walked among the pilgrims, people recognized us. Yet no one treated us as celebrities. They treated us as brothers, smiling, guiding us, sharing water, sharing prayers. And that's when I understood the true meaning of the Ummah, a community that transcends borders. I watched strangers comforting strangers, and tears flowed not from sorrow but realization that we are all creations of one God. I've read about unity, spoken about equality, but in Mecca I saw it alive. The most powerful moment was during prayer, when the Imam's voice echoed and thousands bowed together with their foreheads touching the ground. Steve and I stood motionless, overwhelmed. It wasn't just religion. It was surrender, discipline, and love woven together in perfect balance. In that silence, I thought about the divided world outside race, class, politics, greed. And yet here, in one of the hottest places on earth, stood millions who left everything behind to declare that God is one and all humans are equal before Him. After that, I began studying Islam not through books or news, but through people, their kindness, humility, strength. I realized the misconceptions in media are shadows covering a radiant light. Islam is not hate. It is mercy, balance, justice, helping neighbors, feeding the poor, respecting parents, protecting the oppressed, and remembering that life is temporary but deeds are eternal. Steve, known for his toughness, told me one night in Mecca, "Tony, I did movies about power, but here I learned real power is submission to the Creator, not ego." And he was right. I realized Islam's message isn't a threat but a cure for division, greed, arrogance. When you stand in Mecca and see millions circling the Kaaba in perfect unity, you realize this is what humanity was meant to be: connected, humble, peaceful. After returning, I felt a new sense of purpose. Media may not understand. People may question. But truth settles quietly in the heart. I don't claim to be a scholar, but what I experienced was real, pure, transformative. It made me think of injustices, poverty, wars, discrimination problems mankind created, but Islam has answers to: compassion, equality, justice, the very principles I fought for all my life. Steve and I talked for hours. He said, "Tony, the world needs to see this not through fear but through love." And he was right. Before leaving, I looked at the Kaaba one last time, people from every nation circling it, whispering prayers, crying, forgiving, and I thought, this is humanity's true form. That moment changed how I see faith, humanity, and leadership. Real leadership isn't control, it is serving others, just as Islam teaches service to God through serving people. This journey was secret because it was sacred, too powerful for headlines. Today, I say this with my whole heart. What I witnessed in Mecca changed me forever. It reminded me we are one, and that the truth of Islam, the peace of Mecca, and the unity of its pilgrims is for all humanity. After returning, my heart was not the same. Steve and I came back to noise cameras, interviews, politics, yet inside there was silence and reflection. It felt like Mecca placed a mirror in my soul. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the Kaaba surrounded by waves of people in perfect unity. For weeks I avoided the media. I needed to understand what had happened. It was not just emotional, it was transformative. Steve and I met again. I asked him what stayed with him most. He said, Tony, the humility, the silence, the power of millions bowing not to a man or money but to God. That hit me, because in politics we bow to influence, power, wealth, but in Mecca you bow to the Creator. One night, an elderly man from Africa handed me Zamzam water and pointed to the sky. We didn't share a language, but his eyes carried peace. Back home, people asked what I learned. I said, true equality isn't political, it's divine. In Mecca, everyone wears the same white cloth, rich or poor, famous or forgotten. And you realize only your heart, intention, and deeds matter. Steve and I read more about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I was astonished by his kindness, justice, compassion. He lived simply, cared for the poor, freed slaves, respected women, and taught mercy even to enemies. That isn't extremism, it's humanity. Why is such a message misunderstood? Because people fear what they do not know. Islam teaches discipline, honesty, respect, balance, values every society needs. When Steve and I first spoke publicly, reactions were mixed. Some praised, some criticized, but we didn't do it for praise. We did it because truth deserves a voice. Steve said, Tony, in Mecca I didn't feel famous, I felt human. And he was right. Mecca reminds you beneath all achievements, you are just a servant of God, and that brings peace no award can buy. A young Indonesian man told us, you came as guests, but now you're part of a brotherhood that never ends. And I felt it deeply. After returning to America, I spoke differently, less about division, more about unity, compassion, justice, humility. I supported interfaith dialogues. I said if the world experienced Mecca for one day, wars would end. Steve told me people won't understand unless they see it. Let's make something not a movie, but a message. That planted a seed. I saw Muslims opening food banks, helping refugees, taking care of neighbors, standing against injustice. These were values I fought for, but now I saw their spiritual roots. I read the Quran. One verse struck me. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. 13:11. That explained everything. Mecca changed something inside me quietly, profoundly, permanently. Steve meditated more. He said, Tony, I don't see life the same anymore. The world's problems, hatred, inequality, conflict, the answers are not hidden. They're in faith, prayer, unity. Mecca taught me we are travelers and life is temporary. What matters is not what we own, but what we give, not how many know us, but how much good we leave behind. So the hidden truth that shocked the world is that truth isn't in power or politics, but in surrender, bowing before your Creator, and realizing everything you chased was already within you. Mecca taught peace begins in hearts, not governments. Jason and I now, Steve and I knew the world needed this message. Silence was no longer an option. At the press conference, I said, yes, Steve and I went to Mecca. And what we found changed everything we thought we knew about life, humanity, and God. And when reporters questioned us, I said, this is not about labels, it's about truth. The human soul searching for light in a dark world. If standing for peace, justice, and humility is what Islam teaches, then maybe the world needs to listen instead of judge.